Welcome to Women Don't Do That, where we empower you with inspiration, knowledge, and skills to redefine your boundaries and unleash your potential. I'm Stephanie Mitton, founder and CEO of Beacon North Strategies and your guide. Small town girl turned CEO while navigating career, motherhood, ADHD, and chronic migraines. Our conversations range from interviews with visionary women to solo episodes filled with actionable insights. We are your hub for turning what ifs into let's go. Are you ready to redefine your possible? Let's get started. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Women Don't Do That. Today, we're going to be talking about how do you actually take time off, advice from a self-proclaimed workaholic and business owner. I think the tips I have to share will benefit you whether you own your own business or not. And I think there's something in here for everybody. Taking a break from work, especially as a business owner and professionals engaged in business, it's really challenging to just take a break. I find it particularly challenging in my business because it's mostly run on a retainer-based model where people pay per month for the work that you're doing. So going and taking a week off or something can be really challenging. And so we're going to dive into what I did to help me take some time off this past week, actually. And it requires strategic planning and clear communications. We're going to dive into some of the steps I took to help me enjoy my vacation without compromising my business operations or client relationships. So I've broken it into two parts. The first is pre-vacation planning, and the second is really diving into reflections and the actual experience about what these steps did to help me and where the gaps were or challenges and things I still need to work on that I hope will be also helpful for you. So the first is a pretty basic one, but important. It's setting out of office notifications. I know for me, I personally sigh with relief when that out of office is in. It indicates who is my backup, who people can talk to if they have questions while I'm away. And that really allows me to push the guilt off of myself in terms of knowing that if people need me, there's somebody else that can help them. The second point I would make is ensuring that you have backup support. Delegating a team member. If you have a team member, that can be really helpful. If you don't, there are other ways to do it. Last summer, I took some time off and one of my subcontracts backed me up. And so you may need to build in some systems, a couple weeks or a couple months in advance that set you up to allow you to do this kind of thing. Another example is my mom. She's a hairdresser. She owns a salon and she trades off with another hairdresser when she wants to go on vacation, and they support each other that way. And so it is challenging, especially if you're a business owner, but there are options to make it happen. And some of it means just being organized and starting far enough in advance. Number three, I would say, is the timing of your vacation. Plan it when it works for your industry, your clients, your business. I'll give you an example. For me, it's really busy in my business throughout early spring. And so going into the end of March or the beginning of April is not a great time to take off. Also, October, November, those are also really busy seasons in my work. But a break season, for instance, for us would be July and August. More so. It's always busy, but more so. Last year, when I took some time off, I actually got very lucky because a lot of my clients actually ended up being off at the same time. And so that timing can be really important. And that includes planning ahead so that you can actually take that time off. Number four is advanced communications. You want to inform your clients, your business partners, your staff about your plans well in advance. And as that date gets closer, to also send them a reminder as well. Number five is pre-vacation briefing and client backup notifications. So make sure that your staff know exactly what they need to do for you. They can handle their own work just fine, but if they have any questions that they know they need answers for before they go away, or if there's projects that you're working on or tasks that you normally do that you want them to do, plan that briefing ahead. You're going to have to do it, and notify clients about who will be their contact in your absence. Number 6 is schedule management. I would recommend arranging some later weeks ahead of time or after your vacation for preparations, for catch up, maybe less meetings. And this is important on the personal and the professional front. For me, I work from home part of the time. And so being able to catch up on laundry those couple days that you're back, maybe, or fitting in some packing before you leave for your trip. If you're a business owner, obviously that's a little bit easier than if you work for someone else. But having some of those quieter weeks or not traveling as much to the office, if that's an option for you, will really help you have the capacity to actually get out the door. As a working mom, I know for me and for many of you that are maybe living that same experience, it is a lot to go on vacation. And so one of the things that I did is plan out a couple weeks in advance. Like this weekend, we're shopping for things we don't have, let's say. And this weekend, we're all going to pack. And this weekend, something else. And so that really helps you get out the door in a way that's manageable because otherwise it's going to be absolutely crazy just trying to get all the things done that need to get done. Number 7 that really also helped me was leveraging your weekends. Especially as I mentioned earlier, if you're a business owner or you do retainer type work, this can be really beneficial because it actually just impacts the number of days on your work week. Number 8 is post vacation catch up with the people that you did handover with. And you can plan this ahead so it fits into your schedule so you don't come back to an overscheduled environment and you can catch up on missed work. I even blocked off some time the first day that I was back to just check emails. And that's can be really helpful planning ahead of time too, is to book that time in because you know it's something you're going to have to do. Number 9 is setting expectations, and I think this goes for everybody from staffs to customers to clearly communicate your availability and what can be expected of you or what can't be while you're away. Number 10 is minimizing distractions. I have a lot of notifications, reminders. You can clean up your calendar or have your staff help you with that. You can delete apps completely off your phone. Maybe you have a work phone and a personal phone, and you can turn off your phone entirely. Whatever you can do to minimize some of those distractions is really important. Number 11 is client preparation. So make sure that you've addressed what you need to before you leave and you make it very clear to the client and also the staff about what's going to be done and by who while you're away. So those are some of the things I did to prep for the trip. I'm sure there's lots of others, but certainly some of the ones that stood out to me as some of the most important things. And what I want to do now is to flip to the actual experience. I was pretty good at unplugging. I did, however, once in a while, check my emails. So despite my intention to disconnect, I did do this. Although on reflection, I actually had my debrief with my staff today. We talked about how unnecessary this was, and it's something that I can work on for next time. And just having a positive experience this time helped me have proof of concept to continue to try to do better in terms of pulling away. And one thing that they recognized that they were sending me stuff just, when they thought about it or think questions they had, but they also learned that given the way that I am, that they will try not to send those until I am back. And I think one of the most challenging thing with the mind shift is that if you are checking your emails, you will see things that if you were in the office would be urgent for you to do. But because you're not in the office, and that doesn't happen very often. It's really hard to shift your brain to all of a sudden be like, that isn't urgent anymore. And someone else has it covered. And so I think just stepping away and trying to not check my email at all probably would have been a better solution for me. It shows trust in my team and their ability to handle issues and underscore the effectiveness of the system that was in place. And so that actually worked really well. And so learning to disconnect is a continual challenge for me. I think I made some important steps, and there's some important work left to do in order to do that. And one of the challenges that I am constantly working on in myself is that mental shift of being present in the moment. I have ADHD, and so that's a challenge for me. And just a reminder of emphasizing the value of giving one's self the permission to truly disconnect. And I want to give an example of this. My family decided to go ziplining over the Grand Canyon, and I didn't think I wanted to do it. I had done it once before in Montreal and found it very nerve-wracking. And I have high blood pressure, and I was a little bit nervous about what that might do to my blood pressure. And I thought, I don't think that's for me. When I got there, I realized, you know what, I think I can do this. And the tickets were full, so I wasn't able to do it. So they did 2 zip lines, and I was able to watch them do the first one, and for the second one, they took me to a lookout. And so I was there by myself, and it was absolutely amazing waiting for my family to come, because every other section of the Grand Canyon where we were had other people around you, and just looking at it and having that quiet time to reflect, it brought me to tears just thinking about the creation of it, the history of it, how gorgeous it is, and reminding me of the importance of unplugging from work and taking these experiences and doing these kinds of things with your family. I will be posting some of the pictures that I took on my personal Instagram. If you're interested, the link to my personal Instagram is available in the show notes if you want to take a look. And just to underscore the value and the reinforcement that I want to place on the value of spending quality time with family and a break from work, and really highlighting, while work is constant, personal experience are fleeting and invaluable. And one of the pro tips that I can leave you with, and this actually came from Kelly Sinclair. If you've been a longtime listener of the podcast, you know I'm a big fan of Kelly. She's been on the podcast twice before. If you want to check out past episodes, she runs something called Entrepreneur School, does a lot with branding and marketing. She's amazing. I've used her personally. And one of the pro tips that she gives in one of the workshops that I've done with her is the importance of scheduling for business owners and executives, and even for staff, well in advance, if you can, to prioritize these moments in your life, because otherwise they will not happen. They just won't happen, especially as a business owner. I really hope that these insights help you take some time off of work yourself. Remember, taking time off benefits you both personally and professionally. Returning refreshed and reinvigorated, you're better equipped to face client challenges with a new perspective, while also empowering your team through trust and delegation. So here's to planning your next vacation and getting it in the calendar. Have a great week. Thanks for joining us on Women Don't Do That. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a rating or review. Connect with us on Instagram at Women Don't Do That, and visit our website www.womendon'tdothat.com for more details. Join our Patreon to support our work. Find all of the links in the show notes. Remember, you have the power to transform your what ifs into let's go. Together, let's redefine your possible. Until next time.